Everybody, it's great to see and be seen. Craig McKim here, EP Mixer, Maverick Protection Group. And we're here with another sponsor spotlight for the EP Mixer. We're holding in New Orleans coming up next Thursday, or I guess technically this Thursday, on March 16th from 7 to 10 p.m. at Walk On Sports Bistro. And we have one of the local sponsors there, but they have a pretty big company, a representative from Weiser Security, Tommy Summerville, who is kind of the big dog, or at least a big dog for the company, who is the Vice President of National Accounts. We're glad to have him here. Tommy, how are you? Thanks for being here.
I'm glad to be here, and happy Friday to everybody. We're looking forward to meeting everybody at Walk-Ons next Thursday on the 16th.
Excellent. Appreciate it. I'm so glad you're going to be there. It doesn't always happen that way with sponsors, but I'm glad you're taking the initiative and throwing your support behind us. Just, not only in the sponsorship, but in the attendance. And that's, it's great to have the name up there and that it's recognizable. But a face to a company is always a better way to go, as far as I'm concerned. Now, like I said, you're local to there, but you're with a big company,
Right.
and Weiser. What is it that, what are the products, what are the services, I guess, that you guys provide, and where?
Yeah, we're from California all the way to Virginia. We're open up an office in New Jersey. We mainly provide extremely motivated security officers, and we do a lot of virtual security where we watch cameras and do voice downs, pop gates, doors. Our officers are, our kind of world is heavy industry. We do a lot of logistics work, a lot of distribution centers. We have some what we would call the heavy hitters in the chemical industry in the United States. We do a lot of, refineries, chemical plants. That's kind of what our niche is. We've been in business for 53 years, and all of our growth has been organic. We pride ourselves on our scope of work, making sure our people that are in the field do not get burdened with so much work. They're not having personal attention to the security officer, because if the security officer is happy, everybody's happy. And if it wasn't for them, none of us would have jobs. So we're very security officer focused. And then a while back, we started a virtual division, and that has just taken off like gangbusters. We're mixing the physical security with the virtual security, and an array of different products, from tours to live monitoring to video escorts. So that's kind of what we are, and what we focus on. We don't do temporary work. We don't want to do any take away from our permanent clients. A lot of our clients we've had over decades, so we want to make sure we're servicing those guys and girls, and those being good stewards of those companies that are entrusting Weiser with their facilities.
Yeah, that's an impressive, to me, that's an impressive number. I mean, to have any client, at any scope for over a decade, clearly you guys are doing something right. So, with that, you've been part of the company a long time. How did you, how did you find your way into Weiser, or how did you find your way into the industry, and what's kept you there?
I'm an old teacher, coach, disciplinarian, and I was got out of that and was working in construction. We were building buildings and doing furniture, and then the COO's at that time girlfriend, I was buying a lot of furniture from her, and we started talking about what he did, and met him, and 15 years later, I guess I'm here. So I never thought I would stay in the security industry, but once I started doing it, and giving people jobs, helping people out, keeping things safe, it's very rewarding to develop a program that enhances facilities and people's lives, safety and security, because you feel like you're protecting, what you are, a large number of people, while you're enabling people to have a good job, benefits, and a good work environment. The people that run our company, Weiser's, really focus on making sure that people are treated very well. And we try to do that through different recognition programs with our employees, making sure when people do something good that we really publicize that and thank them, instead of always just waiting for catch somebody, bad. Security officers get a bad rap sometimes, but things happen. But we really try to capture the good things and promote those good things to foster and promote other good behavior from their peers. So that's a fun team to be on when you're encouraging, helping, and moving forward. Watching it grow is fun for me. We've been in some states last 5 years that we've grown in organically through customers that have brought us there because we've done a good job in other parts of the country. So again, all of our growth has been organic through different major clients moving us with them when they open. So that's been rewarding to see those business relationships, grow. Like we always say, friends don't fire friends. So, we try to do everything we can as far as billing, making sure things are right, that we're doing things, best practices in the market, and also reevaluating the site with the change in technology. We can add technology, maybe save them some money here without lowering their security, level. The last thing we want to do is that. But cost is a factor, but it's not a factor when it comes to security and safety. But having the ability to integrate technology and a human being in the last 5 or 7 years has really grown leaps and bounds.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like everything you want to hear coming from somebody who is, in charge of running, a part of the company, right? And it sounds like fun. It sounds like it's your officer focused, right? Or staff focused, for sure, and catching them doing something right. You talk about that in leadership all the time. Your John Maxwell's, your Simon Sinek's. It's like you said, we're not you don't want to keep trying to catch people doing something wrong. Let's find something right. And so when you do that, and that's great. But then also you really caught my attention. Obviously you have my attention, but you piqued my interest really when you said, it's the bigger picture. It's not verbatim what you said, but it was providing jobs for your community and any community that you're in, or right. Protecting people that they don't know. A lot of them don't know who Tommy Summerville is. They might not even know the name of the person that they're walking by every day, but they know right. that they're there every day. And so when you see a bigger picture, and serving, you're really serving your community, your specific communities where you are, but then also the industry as a whole, because of how you're treating your officers. And right. With EP Mixer, that was something that was the backing behind what we wanted to do. That we want to serve the industry. We want to bring people together so that they can find jobs, so that they can find vendors or partners, so that they can find training right. opportunities and just other like-minded professionals.
People are more loyal to individuals than institutions. So, if you're out there and our people are doing the recognition and hiring the right people, and then, we're taking the right work. Not all work is good work, right? We're taking quality work with quality companies, and we put quality people in those positions, then, things tend to be better. So, we're selective on kind of what we do and how we do it, and we try to be selective. I'm seeing a trend. There's people coming back to the workplace finally. There for a while was rough in the trying to staff things, but we're seeing applicant flow increase, which is good, and just about all over the country. So that's a good thing, getting people back to work, or not having to struggle so hard like during COVID, or when the government was providing a tremendous amount of assistance. The right. willingness of people to go to work was rough, but I'm seeing a shift where people are coming back in and applying for jobs. The branches that I are dealing with on a daily basis are reporting back to me that there's more applicant flow, which is great, because more applicant flow means more people that we can pick from to put in the right spot.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's great. So you had mentioned earlier, I'm not asking names here, understand how the confidentiality and things like that, but you have this, sounds like you have an ideal client that you work for, or several, I guess, depending on what service that you want to promote. But you know, one of your ideal clients, like what does that look like for you? Who would that, I want to say who would that be, but
Right.
what are the characteristics of an ideal
Yeah.
client for
Yeah.
Weiser?
I mean, look, you know, everybody's good at different things. Thank God, you know, everybody did the same thing. World would be pretty boring.
Dude,
But
I'm telling you.
I think Weiser, well, I know Weiser is really good in the logistics distribution center world because we have a lot of training for that. We have a lot of knowledge of how to go about that. You know, we're really good with the MARSEC regulations and CFATs when we're dealing with ports, having the proper training, understanding what the MARSEC levels are, the color changes, the screening changes, having the documents and having that understanding and having that in-house training where we can get a person in there that understands when it goes from MARSET 1 to MARSET 3, man, we're screening 100%. Just having that knowledge and having that many clients where we kind of have like an institutional knowledge throughout our company where everybody feels really comfortable with that. Hey, we got a chemical plant. Hey, we got a port. Hey, we got a distribution center. Those things in our world, we feel really comfortable because we have a lot of them that we're running and we've built up good practices and good ideas on what should happen on a daily basis. And also, most importantly, what shouldn't happen. And if that thing that shouldn't happen happens, how to react to it, how to report it, and most importantly, how to prevent that, right? That's why one reason we're there. We want to prevent bad things from happening. So, and then also help that company minimize their risk and help that company that we're at make more money by having a smooth and safe work area. The trucks moving in and out, ships moving in and out, most importantly, their workers moving in and out in a safely orderly way and making sure that everything from their cars to their trucks to their person is taken care of in a safe and timely manner. So that's kind of what, you know, we kind of focus on and talk about every day, whether it be a toolbox meeting, whether it be a safety, a time to have a safety moment, you know, whatever that might be. We want to make sure that everybody understands what their role is all the way down. You know, when we put people out at these plants, or you know, this is what they're making, this is what these trucks are leaving with. They have to be sent to the right spot. We can't have a mispull. That mispull means hundreds of thousands of dollars sometime if that product is not at the right store. So we kind of make sure they understand how important their job is and why this company has taken on a financial burden of having a security force there. So, you know, I think that's real important. I think sometimes that's missed when you don't really have and drill down and tell the human being that's working there, the officer that's working there, hey, look, this is why you're doing your job. This is why you're here. And this is how important this is for not only you and your family, your benefits. All those things are good, but it's also important to all these other people that are working around you. It's important for the company that's hiring us. So I think that you know, we always try to really make sure that that's clearly understood.
Yeah, the last thing that you want to have happen, well, I mean, I guess there's a number of last things, right? But certainly don't want security to be the detriment to the company that's hired you, or that and not it's so much that, but then also their clients. You know, the different shipments that come in from wherever they're coming from, and this person needs to be over here, that truck needs to be over there, and the security officer is the one that's misguiding them. Or potentially the one that's misguiding
Right.
them. It's like that's a bad, like obviously that's bad news for everyone. And like you said, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars that get, somebody made a left turn instead of a right turn, and now that's delayed by 45 minutes, which means X and X, the whole way down to then, listen, we got to can you because that's your third strike, and we can't have you around anymore.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So, I think we've probably found it somewhere in what we've already talked about, but what is like one, if somebody were to walk away from this, from this interview and spotlight and listening, like what's one thing that you would want to either like a potential customer or client or vendor or whoever, what was one thing about Weiser or about you that you'd like them to take away?
I think the fact that we're not number one. When you're number one or on top, there's only one way to go. We're trying every day to be better. We're trying to every day to grow in a good, sustainable way. We make sure that our span of control, like I said earlier, we don't have our guys and girls spread all over trying to manage things. So they'll answer their phone. We can respond. Our company is big, but we're still the right size to be nimble. I get calls all the time from training to sales calls to operation to before we got on, I was working with a client to get their billing straight. They don't have to call 38 people. Way our company's set up, we don't have as many roadblocks to success, I would say, as far as getting things done. Our main objective is to get things done in an orderly and a correct way and move forward. So I think that would be the biggest thing with us. We're big enough to handle it, but we're still small enough where the care factor or the concern factor is definitely still there. And the fact that we're family owned, the owner and the family is extremely involved, extremely good people and care. And most of our upper management have been with Weiser, I would say the low level, like the youngest, maybe 18, 20 years. So everybody's been around. Can honestly say everybody's extremely friendly with each other. Sometimes that's good and bad. We do stuff on the side. I just went on a mini vacation with our COO to a wedding. But, those are all good things, though, because the camaraderie and the long term. We don't have a lot of turnover in that layer of our deal of management. And the main focus is the security officer. And then with us getting into the virtual security about a decade ago, that has really allowed us to really enhance some sites. And that solution is not the solution for everything, but man, it sure does work when it's the right fit. So we're really excited about having a guy named Alex Patempa is running that section for us. And good story about him. I found him at a bar in Chandler, Arizona, because his wife, they're from Poland. She was trying to order an old fashioned and nobody could understand what she was doing, but I guess I could. So we got her an old fashioned. So
nice.
Now he's been working for us, and he's just doing a wonderful job in the virtual sector.
That's great, and that's a great story, and that's we've picked up at Maverick, we've picked up people at mixed martial arts fights. Years ago, when I in a different life, different industry, I had been in a car accident, and I was going through like rehab, and I'm working with a physical therapist, and it wasn't even in security, like I said, a different industry. Mm-hmm. But he had the personality I liked. There was a lot of things he had going. We ended up hiring him. He worked for us for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. And one of our better employees, in a town like Vegas, it was in Vegas at the time. It was, there's a high turnover, right? Always like on to the next buck. But this guy was great, but sometimes it works out like that. So I love hearing stories like that. But anyway. Well, Tommy, that's all I got for you. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat, with us and let me hear a little bit more. We had a great conversation the other day, which I appreciated that as well. I'm kind of glad that we did that and I got a feel for you. I think you probably got a feel for me, but
sure.
I'm really glad that you're here. I'm really glad that you're sponsoring, and even more so on top of all that, I'm glad you're going to be there. So that's all I got for everybody. Tuning out now. Get there. It's going to be a great event. Tommy's going to be there. Ask him all the questions. You get a chance to corner him, as often happens at networking events. But that's all I got. Tommy, again,
a whole bunch of good people. It's in New Orleans, and drinks will be flowing and be good food. I can promise you that.
Well, then I'm going. I'll definitely be there. I appreciate it. But anyway, all right, Tommy. We'll see you. We'll see you in a week. Okay.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
All right, everybody. We'll see you.